So you're doing everything right except the one thing that actually matters. It's not your music, your money, or your marketing. It's your mindset. And until you fix your goals, you'll never be more than a part-time side hustle artist with full-time dreams. Now, I know you've been grinding, posting, releasing, trying to make this your career, but deep down something feels off because you're busy and you're not building, and every year starts to look like the last one. So this is for you all who've done the work but haven't seen the breakthrough. You don't need more effort. You need direction. You're not lazy. You're just aiming at nothing. So once you fix your goals, real measurable identity shifting goals, everything changes. The way you move, the way you show up, and the way people respond to your music, all of that will change. I promise you. Because for me, I was wandering around the music game aimlessly. Maybe I'll engineer for a while and then produce and then manage and then publish and then run a record label and then do some syncing. I learned a lot of lessons, but nothing worked to a high degree. Worst case scenario was quitting and getting a job, but it just didn't sit right with my soul. So I just kept moving on. I learned a lot about real goal setting 13 years into my music industry career that changed everything for me. I was never broke again. I knew who I needed to become and what would be required to make the daily transformation. People have used this method for decades, so when I say it works, just know this is how you finally break out, but there's a specific way to set the goal. So let me show you. All right, so now what we gotta do is we gotta set a measurable goal. Most of you think you just need to blow up or go viral, but that's exactly why you're moneyless and directionless. The truth is, if your goal isn't specific, time-bound, and emotionally rooted, it's not a goal, it's a distraction. Again, 13 years trying to figure out everything I could with no real breakthroughs, but then I set a measurable goal, X by Y because of Z, so I can ABC. And I finally started building some momentum that didn't rely on luck. So here's what you need to do, okay? First things first is you want to write a clear, tangible goal. What do you want to achieve? That's the X. Then give it a hard deadline. That's the Y, X by Y. And then you want to attach a meaningful reason. That's the Z. Finally, you want to put on 3 personal transformations. That's the ABC. So then if you look at the formula, you can see it's very simple. X by Y because of Z, so I can ABC. And once you do this, you'll stop waking up confused about what to do next. You'll see progress, clarity, and results, even if you're broke or solo or overwhelmed. Man, I'm telling you, it changed me. This one flipped my mindset from trying everything to building something that lasts. And if you think that you need a team, a budget, or label first, I get it because everybody thinks that. I did too. But what you really need is a clear destination before you start driving and adding passengers to the vehicle. Because if we ain't going nowhere, then we just wasting gas money. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to do that. Now we got to set the transformation. Who do you need to become? Because I know you just listed 3 of them, but we need to know, who do you need to become? Because most of you all think success is about doing more, but the truth is it's about becoming more. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to the level of your identity, of who you are. When I finally set the right goal, I realized I didn't just need new tactics. I needed a new standard. I had to become the type of person who follows through, leads, and finishes what they start. That's what changed everything, at least for me. So here's what you need to do to get this transformation right. I want you to write down your goal, to what we just talked about. Then I want you to ask, who would I need to become to make this inevitable that this will happen? Write that new identity at the top of your notebook, planner, phone. Look at it daily. The point is you need to see who you need to become. And this recentered my entire process. I stopped making moves based on my current circumstances and started making moves based on my future identity, who I wanted to become. Even without money or followers, I became someone who leads and not someone who waits. That's the point. So let's recap this so you don't lose focus and so that you got this. We've covered the goal setting part, and then we've covered the identity building, which was who you were going to become. But at the next part, this is where a lot of people lose the momentum of the goal itself. All right. Now, as a side note, if you need a solid business foundation to run your record label and generate revenue, grab my 60-day record label system. It includes funding partners to help you finance these goals that you're about to accomplish on your musical journey. Now, let's bring it on home here. The daily vital action and transforming and accomplishing, right? That's what this is. We got to do something daily. Most of you guys think that you need to do more to grow, but it's not about doing more now. It's about doing the right things consistently. Random hustle leads to random results. That's what I was getting. I was doing all them jobs, I was getting random stuff. I used to spend hours bouncing between tasks, never knowing what actually mattered. But once I committed to 3 vital actions per day that align me with my real goals, my growth became predictable. For me, I plan my week every week and I read my goal every day before I start, okay? Or my goals rather. So here's what you need to do and here's what I want you to do. I want you to identify 3 daily actions that directly impact your goal. Content, DMs, emails, partnerships, whatever you gotta do. Identify those daily actions. These are the things that you're going to do regardless of what needs to be done during the day. Like you have to do these every day in addition to your main 3 goals. Number 2 is I need you to block some time and complete them. They're non-negotiable. Number 3 is I need you to track them weekly because what gets measured gets managed. And once you do this, you'll build some real momentum even without a team or budget. And this single move took me from burnout to consistency, from guessing to growing, right? And if you're still thinking, well, you need motivation to stay consistent because I can't do it. I did too. Like I was watching ET, you know what I'm saying? Eric Thomas, I watched him a lot when I was getting started. But motivation is a side effect of witnessing your own progress, and needing motivation, here it is, needing motivation is a side effect of watching someone else's progress. Vital actions create that progress so you ain't got to sit around and, man, they doing something more than me, or they doing something, man, you need your vital actions. Focus on those vital actions to transform to who you need to become, and you become your own motivation. Overall, here's what you can do. Set your goal, X by Y because of Z, so you can ABC. And then define who you need to become to reach it, and then lock in your daily vital actions and do them without fail. The goal here isn't just to write something down. It's to finally give your career direction, urgency, and transformation, because the real question isn't should you do this, it's how much longer can you afford not to? I wish I would have known this when I first got started. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you need help mapping this out and turning your music hustle into a real business, join us every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inside the Music Money Makers community for our group strategy call. Click below to join the community today. Now, the truth is, it's not the goal, your skills, or your resources. It's the fear of failing before you even start. Like you've been through this before, plans didn't work, album dropped, it flopped, people let you down. So now you're hesitating, but this works. This is all about you. So when you set a real goal, attach it to who you're becoming, and then commit to your daily actions, you will see progress. Guaranteed, guaranteed. You don't need a perfect budget, a manager, or a team. You just need to stop waiting, because indecision is the most expensive habit that you got right now. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you this. When you delay this process, you're going to have wasted time, money, and energy on low return efforts that feel productive, but get you nowhere. And then you're going to feel like you're meant for more, and it'll keep slowly growing, but then you'll feel disconnected from your purpose each day, because that's like the small stuff, right? But facing the brutal choice to either take control of your future or keep hoping something will change while doing the same thing is the worst feeling. What this setup does is it helps you make incremental progress every single day. In 7 days of applying this, you're going to feel like you've made 30 days worth of progress. In 2 weeks, it's going to feel like 2 months. 3 weeks, it's going to feel like 3 months. What's really happening is you're taking the transformation and you're bringing a bit of it into the day. But if you're like making beats here, I'll write this one song here, I'll record here, and I'll probably record. No. You have to incrementally get to finishing that song, incrementally get to finishing that beat. And the next thing you know, you're going to feel like you're moving slow at first, but the next thing you know, all this stuff is going to stack up. And you're going to be like, yo, I made so much progress in 90 days. This is crazy. That's what happened to me and so many others that have done this. So if you've been struggling with setting goals to actually move your career forward, knowing who you need to become to hit that next level, staying consistent without burning out, hey man, I'm telling you, you got a clear, proven structure. You got the mindset, you got the method, and I hope that you got the momentum to stop being a hobbyist and become the intentional full-time artist you were always meant to be, baby. I'm trying to tell you, music money makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, grab the 60-day record label course, complete with my funding partners, beneath this video right now. Join the Music Moneymakers community, grab the free stuff, watch this next video right over here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.